Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Walaikum
I
assalam.
uh, uh, a very good evening to all of you. My name is Hamza Ahmed, and I am here on behalf of ZABIST Mechatronics department. I'm bringing you a new, fresh, and exciting episode of Admission Fall 2021 Inventing Futures. We have an esteemed list of esteemed guests, Ms. Marium Alvi. She's from the batch of 2013. She's currently working in Unilever, Pakistan as as assistant manager, digitization and ECP supply chain. Next, we have Musfira Zamir, batch 2014. She's currently working in Affinity as an associate data analyst. Last and definitely not the least, we have Mr. Danish Razzak from the batch of 2011. And Danish is currently working in Indus Motors as a team lead fleet vehicles. I welcome you all and thank you so much.
Thank you, Hamza.
Am I audible? Yes, hear me.
Yes, we can.
I think we had some internet connectivity issue. Sorry. Okay. Uh, let's just continue again. Let me introduce my esteemed consistent guest to you. I have Ms. Marium Alvi from the batch of 2013 and currently working at Unilever Pakistan Limited as a digitization and BCC category supply chain. We have batch 2011 currently working in Indus Motors as team fleet lead vehicles. Last but definitely not the least, we have Ms. Musfira Zamir, working batch 2014, working at Affinity as associate data analyst. Thank you all. Thank you all for giving your precious time. We have a question, but before the question, I would like to ask Mr. Danish Razzak, sir, why mechatronics? The reason why I'm asking you this question is because you started way back a decade ago in 2011. So what
Yes.
made you pursue this, and what bounties you had after being a part of mechatronics engineer?
Thank you, Hamza, for this opportunity. So, can you hear my voice?
Yes, I can hear your voice.
Yeah. So, back in 2010 or 2011, so we are actually searching for universities and applying for engineering universities. So, this gave me an little bit of challenge as to I had different options, and most of the things were amalgamated together, and it was something unique because this was something that was not in the market at that time. And at this current moment also, if I be honest, there's no such option exists in the market right now as well. So having a unique thing back then gave me an curiosity to ask to apply over here and get an admission. And I was, to be honest with you, I was actually very excited to get admitted over here. And till this day, I'm really thankful for the opportunity, not for the education purposes, but as also as well for the overall experience as well at SZABIST.
Okay. Thank you. Miss Mariam, I would like to ask you, what do you think about mechatronics program after 4 years?
So after graduating, I think when I graduated in 2017, a lot of people didn't know what electronics was. So it was pretty hard to explain. But then I think, were the trendsetters in Karachi especially. And it was a wonderful experience to graduate and to know all the aspects of engineering. So mechatronics is a mixture of mechanical, electronics, and computer sciences as well. So, it was an opportunity for us to explore our careers. We still had an option to go and specialize in some field, and we were able to understand all the aspects of a machine or engineering as well. So it was I feel it was a really good experience graduating as a next 4 years. So I feel that it was a right decision that I took at that time.
Thank you so much. Uh, Mr. Musfira, I would like to ask you, how is the student life here at 𝗧𝗪𝗓, and especially being a
Well,
mechatronics engineer?
yeah. So, well, the student life was quite interesting. I must say the classes were very well balanced. Like we had theoretical and as well as practical lessons. So usually in the morning we used to have theory classes, and in the evening we used to have practical lessons. So it was very well balanced. And the seniors, even our seniors, were very helpful. Like I remember Marium and Danish, they both helped me a lot. And then there were industrial trips. So, into industrial trips, we got a bit exposure of how the real world is outside the university life as well. And then there were various competitions. So through the competitions like JDC and SZABIST Fest, I got a chance to host and, enhance my presentation skills and everything. So overall, the student life was really good for me.
I think I just realized while introducing my guest, Mechatronics itself gives a very diverse field. Like Danish by himself is a team fleet. Musfira here is a data analyst, which is a programming aspect of Mechatronics, and Miss Mariam Firoz is in the supply chain, which we have leadership and economics that we learn project management in this course. And myself, as a academic instructor at 𝗧𝗪𝗓, and being the alumni, I just quickly realized that how diverse it is. That it's many people just think that it's just robotics and nothing else. It's more to it. Robotics is one of the main aspects of mechatronics, but there's plenty more to what we can offer here in mechatronics.
Very correct. I would like to agree more to that because you said
have a lot of options open even after graduating. You can go in any field you want to. You can still, make yourself perfect in something after your degree. So it's a very good option.
I would like this. So you were from the starting batches of mechatronics. So how difficult was for you to find jobs, or was it totally different, a different scenario, different game altogether, or was it easy that you just gelled into the professional life, or was it very difficult to because to explain mechatronics first and then be with par with the other universities students?
If you ask me, I had to wait out for around 3 to 4 months just to get my first job. And when I had to land that job, it was initially an internship. And by luck, they switched back. Okay, no, it's not an internship. We're going to do with you, and you can start your job as soon as possible when you can. So my first thing was to work as a sales engineer in machinery division at 𝗘𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏𝗧. So when I left that job, the only comment that I received from there was that we had no idea how comprehensive and how unique this field is, and we would like to pursue such engineers in the future as well from mechatronics. And when I moved to the second job, that is at Hilal Foods, so that was through EDC, Executive Development Center, and it was through my graduate directory, the graduate directory that we have in 𝗧𝗪𝗓. Through that, Hilal Foods actually approached us, and they called around 10 to 15 engineers for the interviews, and after them, 2 engineers were selected for their machinery division in the maintenance department. So professional world is, yes, it's a different to the academic world, obviously, because the dynamics are different, the variables are different, the people are different. They're all in the race for money. So you have to be very adaptive and you have to be very smart when you play your games. And yes, there are a lot of different engineers from different backgrounds, different universities that you are amongst with. So that gives you, and that's where you realize where your edge is at. And even now, when most of my friends sit together from 𝗧𝗪𝗓, they say that yes, we do have a cutting edge, we do have a definitive edge, and yes, we work. हमें कोई जबरदस्ती नहीं की गई थी कि इस तरह पढ़ो इस तरह पढ़ो. We all taught and learned by our own interests. अच्छा ये चीज़ है इस तरह. So that gave us that thing, yes, we want to pursue this, and we're all there by ourselves, not because of any force, not because of any grade, GPA, or gold position, or that's where I'm coming from. And yes, we also had this thing, when we graduate, we won't have jobs in our hands. We had this, we knew it. I'm not naming any university, but most of us here sitting over know what I'm talking to. So it was easier for rest of the other people, but for us it was a little difficult. But we managed to cut out, and Alhamdulillah, now it's been 10 years. So we can see from where most of the engineers are placed, and we are proud of them. Yes, as an alumni, and as a student, and as an engineer as well, where they are and where they are. And when we hear the stories as well, it makes us proud as well.
Okay. Thank you so much,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Razzak. Acha. Next, I would like to ask Ms. Marium Alvi, how do you rate the faculty of the ZABIST Mechatronics department? How did
So,
you find them? How supportive they were, and what what help did what piece of advice that they give you, which made you motivated to complete your tenure here at ZABIST?
So that's a very good question for me, at least. I would say my teachers were, I've said this before in different forums, but I'll say it again, that they were my mentors. A lot of teachers were just not our teachers. They used to, there was this mentorship given to us by them. I would say they used to help us out, not just in class, but outside the classrooms as well. If I talk about Sunny, we'll go to his office and sit over there for hours discussing our problems there. If I talk about Dr. Faraz, he was my supervisor as well, and I feel he was great as well. He would help everybody out. But I still remember that one of my teachers, and there was a programming class. So I asked him once that I couldn't understand. It was Sir 𝗙𝗃𝗚𝗓, that name. So he told me, "अच्छा दोबारा समझाता हूँ बेटा." So he explained it to me thrice, and I still didn't get it because it was something different for me. So then at the fourth time I said, "Okay, fine, I got it." I didn't get it. He read my face. He came to me. He's like, "नहीं समझ आया ना?" And then he explained it to me. He made sure I learned it. So I would say the teachers are very devoted. They used to make sure we get our things done. And the best part was the practical experience. It was just not theory. They used to make sure whatever we are learning, we would implement that practically as well. So every project, gave us quite a better understanding, I would say. All of them were very great. I mean, I loved my teachers over there. They play a huge role in wherever I am today right now. So a lot of credit goes to them.
Great. Musfira, I would like to ask you, what skills are required in your position on day-to-day basis?
Okay. So my job is more focused on programming. So the skills that are basically required on day-to-day basis are SQL, R, Python. I basically got the basics of Python from SZABIST. We had a course in SZABIST through which we learned Python, and after that, even our instructor at that time, he told us, that you should focus on your Python and make it clear and start advancing in it. So that's exactly what I did. And, so my job is basically more focused on Python, SQL, and R. And there's some basic visualization tools as well. There's 𝗘𝗚𝗚𝗏 and Power BI. These are business intelligence tools. So that's it.
I would like to now interact with the audience. We have some questions arranged here. Let me show you one of the questions. Mohammed Kashif says, top 2 skills must to be learned in this 21st century growth. As a growth, which 2 skills as a mechatronics engineer should have? So, Danish, if you would like to answer this.
Sure, why not? Kashif, there are 2 basic things. One is product knowledge that you will obviously learn on your job, but you must have the basic know-how. If you work in an automotive company, you will be required to know what an engine does and what are the electrical components, how does the electrical connections the vehicle works, and what are the basic know-how and knickknacks for that. So product knowledge is a must. And then yes, for the 21st century, your adaptiveness and your open-mindedness is very important. I know this is not a skill that you can learn in your university, but this is how you develop within your own personal self. and this will also define you within that organization, and this will make you distinguished among that in that organization as to how you are and how adaptive you are. Because if you are not adaptive, if you are very slow and you are like laid back, yes, ठीक है, job हो गया, alhamdulillah, thank you, शुक्र बताओ, then you will never, you will never grow out of your skin, and you will never succeed in a way that you want to be happy with yourself. So I think that's the key learning over here right now.
I hope, Kashif, your question is answered. And Danish bhai, we have one more question for you. It's Hussein Mansoor and says, Danish bhai, which current designation and in which corporation?
Okay, so yeah, I'm working at Toyota Pakistan, and I'm currently looking after the fleet customers for their after sales and for their after sales technical support. So I'm currently looking after them. The fleet customers that actually involves Pakistan Army, Pakistan Navy, Pakistan Air Force, and other fleet customers as well. So I'm looking after their requirements and ensuring them that we as a company are able to meet their requirements on an individual capacity on a dedicated basis.
Okay, great. Ms. Mariam, I would like to ask you, how safe do you feel on and on campus?
So, safety on campus is something I never even, safety was something we thought, we took it for granted, I believe, because I remember staying in the campus for like until 9 p.m., 10 p.m., whatever. So, safety was never a question for me while I was in SZABIST. It was very safe. And I remember we used to sometimes we used to, work in our labs for our projects till night. Our parents were very satisfied with that. So safety was never, a concern for us while being students of SZABIST. It was a very safe campus, I would say.
Okay, so you find SZABIST more secure, and you never thought of.
Yeah. No, I never bothered in my tenure. It was never a complaint. That I think Musfira would agree with me about that as well.
Exactly.
So safety was never a concern for us. We were very safe and happy staying in campus. SZABIST was our first home, not the second, first home, because we used to spend like more than 14, 15 hours over there. So working. So I would say no, it was never a concern.
Okay, we have Mr. Anil Sumro, and he says, can you kindly suggest fresh graduates how to prepare themselves for an interview in any organization? Musfira, would you like to answer this?
For like specifically, if you talk about Affinity, if you're talking about my organization, then they focus a lot on programming skills, especially SQL and Python. So if you want to, get enrolled in there, then you would have to focus especially on the basics. And the way I prepared for the interview questions is basically, you have a lot of information on Google, so you can just type in top 10 or top 20 interview questions, basically. So that helps you a lot. You get a lot of information through that.
Okay, I think if Ms. Mariam could add to this, because she might have been a part of many interviews.
So I would say that skills are of course very much important, what you have learned, but in an interview they don't judge you based on your skills or your grades or your practical knowledge. They judge you on the basis of how your attitude is towards working, your passion, your attitude, your positiveness. I mean, you need to present yourself in a way that people people can see your passion, I would say. I mean, they will not, I have given a lot of interviews. I mean, even in my Unilever's interview, nobody ever asked me what was your GPA. Nobody ever asked me how, if I say, nobody ever asked me if I knew how to use all those softwares I did back in my university life. They don't. They just judge you on the basis of your attitude and your eagerness to work. So if you are willing to work, and I would advise all of my juniors that please come up out of your comfort zone, challenge yourself. If you keep on challenging yourself, you will build yourself, you will grow, and that is the key. This is all they say. Be presentable, work on your communication skills. You need to land your answers in a way that everybody understands. A layman can understand. When people are interviewing you, they're not a technical person, and we coming from a very technical background, we usually go in technical details. This we shouldn't do. We should be able to answer them in a layman's language. We should know how to communicate. That's a very, very important thing, I would say.
Great. Danish bhai, I would add to this question is while teaching the students, many have concerns that what should be the minimum CGPA that they should have so that a reputable company can hire them. So,
Uh,
what advice would you like to give them? Yes, I think your academics is as important, but your other skills do go side by side. So, what advice would you like to give to them?
I think it's a mix actually. Most of the organizations are getting more sensitive to the person coming for the interview and looking for the soft skills. The person with the most desirable soft skills is the most attractive in an interview, and because they know for a fact that you have done your work in your university. Yes, they do, sort of skim off the people with the low GPAs, but an overall resume is a complete package. It's not your academics, it's the little side by side achievements that you've done. Maybe it's your projects, be it your extracurricular activities. It can be that also. So that's the first step, and lands you in an interview. For the interview, it's like you have to be very, as Mariam said, you have to be very attentive, very positive, and very adaptive and very unique in your interview. I remember my interview, if you allow me to share in this platform. I was actually for an engineering position in the maintenance department. So that person sitting right across me was actually an engineer, and he was actually asking me on stuff that I had done in microcontrollers. So I was belonging to a generation of 2011, and he was from 1980s. So he was working on 3505, 3503, and his mind was there. What I did was, yes. So what I did was my intention was very pure. I was only working on Arduino. So I was like, hey, how can we do this? I'll suggest you something like this. He got confused, he got messed up. He was like, hey, what do you want to say to me? And in the end, he was giving me answers. Yeah, I was asking this, and you have to answer me this. And that's how I ended on the interview on a good note. And at the end, the good news was that I also got hired. So the intent and your positivity and your creativity is also at your child at there when you are asked questions. You cannot be very somatic. अच्छा ठीक है ऐसे ही होता है ऐसे होता है. You have to be very creative and adapt, and that's where your key is. You have to make them. You have to sell yourself in a way that they are interested in you. If this is the person that you're looking at, and this is the person that you want to invest in. So if they are going to invest some money into you, you better be up for it, and you better be up for the challenge. You better be creative. That's the key, I think, for any individual looking for this, any advice or any help.
I hope many of those who are still fresh graduates who are about to be graduates and want to enter in the professional world, this advice of Mr. Danish is good enough for you to excel. But now I would like Musfira, how difficult was for you to get your first job, and what did 𝗓𝗃𝗓 play a role in you getting your first job in your professional career?
For me, Alhamdulillah, getting my first job was very easy. I went for my summer vacations, and then when I came back, I just applied. And basically, it was through a faculty member at SZABIST. So he told us about this position that was open for a STEM instructor, and he informed us through a WhatsApp group. So I was aware of it. So as soon as I came back from my vacation, so I applied, and even Mariam was working there. I applied at robotics labs as a STEM instructor. So I had my seniors and the faculty members to guide me. So Alhamdulillah, it was very easy for me.
Oh, great, superb. We have a question from Miss 𝗘𝗡𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏, and she says, "What are the few key features of Mechatronics for admission-seeking applicants?" So, for admission-seeking applicants, let me answer this. You should have a minimum percentage of 60% in your inter and metric, and apart from that, you have an oral exam that is lined up for you. Or once you apply on 𝗓𝗃𝗓, visit 𝗓𝗃𝗓's website and apply in Mechatronics, then you will go an oral test. then you will be called for an online interview, and if you are good enough to be a part of, if you meet all the eligibility criteria, so you will be shortlisted to be a part of Mechatronics engineering. I hope this answers her question. Next, we have Mr. Hussein Mansoor, and he says, do you think it is enough to be just a bachelor degree holder without master degree?
So I would like to answer this question. That I would, when I was graduating, I was very interested in doing my masters just after I graduated. But I remember Dr. Faraz's advice that he told us to, first get some experience and then go for masters. So masters is very, very important for you. But I would still suggest students to first, get some experience in the field. Go and explore what you are interested in and then choose the field of your masters. Don't just rush into masters after graduating. Get some experience and then get your masters. But masters is important. After 2 years of your work experience, you should start focusing on doing your masters. So masters is very important.
Yeah, that's the same advice that I got from the computing HOD, Dr. Imran Ami. And once I completed my graduation, and I really wanted to be a part of a master degree program, we said just go experience the life, or experience your professional life, give it a year, and see the other part of the coin, because here at SZABIST is very easy. You come early morning, you take your classes, and you are good to go. But when you enter the professional career, this is where everything changes. This is where you need to be very, very on your toes, because every time there's a student waiting to get your seat. So you need to be very active, and you need to be extra efficient, and you need to be with the demands of the industry right now. Because if you are still stuck, just like Danish Bhai said, that those who are stuck in 1980s eras, if they're not coming here in 2020s, you won't excel. We have come along from microcontrollers to RDP to Raspberry Pi, and now we have gone to an IoT. So it's all a changing platform, and need to evolve every year. Every phase is coming. So we have another question from Mr. Hussain, and he says, "What are the new business avenues in the field of mechatronics in Pakistan?" Mr. Danish, would you like to answer this?
Sure, why not? So as we progress in the more advancements and the more technological achievements, so mechatronics is yes helping us in that. Neuroscience is there, artificial intelligence is there, and I was talking to my friend in Germany. So he had done his masters in neuroscience, and he was working on the speaking on the through sign language and for deaf and dumb. So his work was actually to articulate a program for the people who use sign language, who are not able to type, who are not able to speak. So as to how to integrate that, so that's an example of where we are heading right now. We're heading towards something that when we just see or when we just give an indication through our senses, it works on the whims and fingers. So mechatronics, yes, it's helping there. How? Through programming, through the coding, and through the sequencing of machine language as well.
Great. That's we have another very good question. It says, "What is the scope of mechatronics graduate in Pakistan?" I think we have answered this, but if Ms. Mariam could elaborate on it a little further.
So, guys, since we all are moving towards automation, and during this pandemic, we all realize a lot of importance regarding automation and digitization. So, I think mechatronics is going to grow a lot in Pakistan in few more years, and all the automation industries and all the and even the smaller companies are now looking towards working towards automation because they see the benefit now. So, I feel this is still a growing area in Pakistan, but yes. There is a lot of hope that our country will, have better opportunities for people who have skills in robotics and automation. So it's a growing field.
Another question from Ms. Hussain, and she says, "How was your research experience at SZABIST with your respective mentors?"
So
Musfira, would you,
yeah, sorry, Musfira.
Sorry?
How was your research experience at SZABIST with your respective mentors? Or with your yes.
Okay. So basically, the research experience was really good. When I was doing my FIP, um, there was an issue that our supervisor left, but all the other teachers, all the other supervisors were always ready to help us. Even the new faculty members were always ready to help us, and they guided us a lot in achieving our final year project. So I think the best thing about SZABIST is that the faculty members are always there to help you out, and it's one of the most important thing when you're looking for a university, because if the supervisors are helpful, if the faculty members are helpful, then you can easily achieve better in throughout the student life.
It becomes a little easy when you have a supporting hand as a supervisor who can guide you all along your research. Okay, we have again Mohammed Kashif, and he is having a very good question. He says, What's more important, high wage or position?" I think that's come to the mind of every graduating student, that what should we opt for? Is it a good salary that we should be going for and wasting our years, or is it a position just kickstart, enter into some domain, and inshallah then you will prosper? So
I
Danish
think
bhai,
it's the package.
okay. Danish bhai, since you have a greater
Yes, sure,
experience,
why not?
yes, I think you started from 2015, so you would
Yes.
get a very easy, or you will be helping him out. What would you say to him? Would be a high wage or a position or a combination?
I think peace of mind is more important, and neither a higher wage and neither a position is important. Because as you
Very
progress in a
nice.
professional life, as you progress in the professional life, you know how important your peace of mind and sanctity is. Because the money that you earn is never going to be enough for you, and that's what my senior at my work position taught me. कितना कमा लोगे? हर दिन your interest and your लालच बढ़ती रहेगी और चाहिए और चाहिए. Position is actually an
Exactly.
entitlement. Position is just an entitlement, just a name tag. Actually, your name matters. Danish, yes, Danish is there. He is doing this work. That matters. भी सीन जनरल मैनेजर भी है सीनियर मैनेजर, अगर उसको काम आता है उसकी इंपॉर्टेंस है, अगर काम नहीं आता कोई इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं, कोई पूछेगा भी नहीं. तो टाइटल रहती है भी जगह. बहुत सारे ऐसे भी मैनेजर्स और बड़े बड़े जीएम हैं, वो किसी ने नहीं पूछा आज तक क्योंकि वो किसी काम की नहीं है. So title and higher wage doesn't matter. It's a peace of mind and it's your level of understanding and level of things that you give out to people. And it's more important as you grow up, as you grow older, you realize it's really important to help out the other people. You cannot be very mean, you cannot be selfish, you have to be adaptive and you have to be very helpful to people around you. You just cannot be like a many batara. I just cannot tell this to anyone. That's my great secret. You have to be open. If you're open, if you're eager to share things, people will be eager to share things with you as well. And you might learn in the process. And that's your growth and that's your success. So that's how things work. तो शुरू में अच्छा लगता है, पैकेज मिल रहा है 85 का 100K का, बाद में लगता है यार इससे ठीक है, सही है, पहले सुकून तो मिल जाए.
So do what you enjoy, actually.
Exactly.
Definitely. So what piece of advice would you like to give who are pursuing mechatronics, who is currently engaged in mechatronics, and who want to start this? I
I'm
would,
sorry, I couldn't hear you. Can you repeat the question, please?
definitely I'm saying, what piece of advice would you like to give to the students who are currently enrolled in mechatronics and wants to pursue mechatronics in future? What one advice, I'll go with all three of you, I'll start with Marium. What advice would you give to them?
So, to the students, I would say, guys, the main idea of getting a degree is to learn, not just grades. I remember, when we were students, we all wanted to get a good GPA. Yes, good GPA really matters, but you should be, understanding whatever you are learning. You should not be doing ke bas grade laane ke liye aap pad rahe hain. This should not be your goal. You really need to have understanding of the subject that you plan to grow on. If you don't have that, if you just have good grades and you have this is not going to make you go a long way. So one piece of advice is, guys, learn with understanding. Grades will come. If you understand, you will get the grades. But if you won't understand and just get the grades, it won't help you in a long way. So just work on your learning experience, on your understanding. It is really what that matters.
Definitely. What would you like to add to it?
I think I would give an advice that, self-study is very important. Like, apart from the degree, you should also enroll yourself in multiple certifications, because
Yes.
certifications are really important to enhance your skills. And even when I was at SZABIST, there were multiple workshops. So you should always try to attend those workshops, because they really help a lot to enhance your skills. And, when you're going for an interview, they do focus on the skills that you have gained. And it depends from organization to organization. Like, when you're having an interview, it's not just one interview, like the rounds, round 1, round 2, round 3. So there's a round for technical interview, and then, on that, they focus a lot on your skills. So I think you should try to enroll yourself in multiple certifications and workshops that the SZABIST is providing in, because they really helped me a lot.
Danish bhai, would you like to add something?
So actually, I would like to, I cannot add on further because both of them have covered most of the points, and it's actually your self-interest as well, and how much time, how much you want to develop yourself. Because we know now we are sitting in a very, adaptive world. We're working in a very strange place where people can work from the homes. पहले ये concept नहीं था, exist भी नहीं करता, घर से काम कर सकता है. So if you see from this perspective, your adaptiveness and your creativity and how much you have invested in yourself is now being reflected. People who have done only one thing in life are now suffering. I'm sorry, I should not say that, but it's like you need to be, open to new ideas and new challenges. You have to be, acceptable of all the things. And yes, I was actually trying to pursue an engineering degree, but my focus wasn't there. I actually was, attracted to other things around in SZABIST as well, and I was engaged in those things, and I think that really helped me because how to talk to people. That's a very basic thing, but how to communicate, how to be expressive, how to adapt to new challenges, how to discover new ideas, how to engage with people and thoughts and ideas, and that's where I came across because I used to spend most of my time at SZABIST, and I used to come in mornings, I used to go at nights. Not because I was wasting time over, because I was trying to learn something new on other Sunday. And that really, gave me a pitch, gave me a platform, where I could express myself, I could sell myself in a very good way and a manner that was attractive or unique to the company that were hiring me. But I would have
We have Mehtab under Yusufzai, and he has 3 questions. I think if I answer the first one, it will biased. So I'll give it to Miss Mariam. He says, "Our labs at SZABIST fully equipped?"
So I remember, I graduated about 3 years ago. I mean, almost 4 now. So I would say yes, they were fully equipped at that time as well. We had all the equipments available for us to learn and explore. Even after I graduated, I still used to have a lot of learning regarding PLCs we had at that time. So I think they were fully equipped, and personally, I feel that the lab experience I learned at SZABIST was, something I had an advantage of better understanding of lab equipment. We used to program on PLCs by our own selves, and we had better understandings of all Raspberry Pis and all kind of equipment, the IoT labs and everything. But system lab was very, fascinating for me. So we had good labs. And Hamza, you must know as well that now because you're working over there.
Yeah, I would like to add on this. Since it's mechatronics, we are in both in the mechanical as well as in electronics. In mechanical, we have all these SOM and TOMS equipment, the weight balance and everything. And then when we have in the electronics, we start off with the transistors and all. We study them that, and then the CS when we have robots. There are many things that are there. A lot of Alhamdulillah, totally equipped and with far experience if you want to compare with anyone else. second question I'd like Musfira to answer because she's currently in this domain. How will you relate mechatronics to robotics, artificial intelligence, and machine learning?
Okay, so how I'll relate Mechatronics to AI and machine learning. Basically, currently I'm working for Affinity, so it's basically an AI firm. It provides pairing solutions to call centers. So basically, if you focus more on your programming skills like Python, R, then you can, develop your basically data science, machine learning, and AI skills. So from the mechatronics program, you can basically get the basics, the base that you need in order to enhance your programming skills. And once you get the basics, then you can always enroll yourself into extra certifications and get the once you have the base, you can always learn more from these resources that are available online. So with the mechatronics program, you would have to put self effort as well if you
Extra,
want to go into the field of AI and exactly for in the field of AI and machine learning. So it's all about how much effort you are willing to put in as well.
Definitely, definitely. Danish, if you could wrap up this question about the co-curricular activities at SZABIST. Danish, your mic is mute, I think. Yes.
Sorry about that. So about the co-curricular activities, I think it's a good blend of that's available at SZABIST, and it depends on the person because it depends on the person to person as to how much you're willing to give out yourself because it's a challenge in itself. The time management and the risk that it involves there because you are having your studies, which is actually very tough for an engineer because you're going to be an engineer in the next 4 years, and then you are also willing and opting for something that can risk this. You might fail your courses, but you have to be up for it, and you have to manage your time very effectively. So yes, Zavis does have the person that has asked this question. He himself was engaged in a lot of activities, and I know him personally. So yes, it's a very good one because people who want to do sports can engage in a sports society. People who want to do charity work, they can go and do track. People who want to work for the university itself, they can join the Zavis Student Council. So I have been part of these organizations, so I know effectively how they work and how they function. And yes, they are very helpful for you itself because they let you enjoy yourself, and while having a rigorous curriculum, rigorous studies and everything, that helps you out in the process.
Thank you so much. We have Mr. 𝗘𝗍𝗓 Ahmed, and he says, I want to ask regarding its scope because the industry values mechanical engineering more than mechatronics. Ms. Alvi, if you would like to answer this.
So I would say that you create your own value. There is nothing like that an industry values some specific engineer more or not. If you go in an interview and if you are able to explain yourself, express yourself, you will create your own value. Your degree does not define your value, but your own self define that. So guys, I would again say work on your understanding and learning process. So that will really help you. And mechatronics also, now people know about mechatronics. When we graduated 4 years back, people didn't know what mechatronics were. We had to explain it to them what mechatronics was, and especially when we joined that team, we really had to make explain it to people. But now people, even in industries and local industries, people know what mechatronics is, and people have started mentioning that in their job ads as well. So awareness is coming with the time, but again, you create your own value. If you whether you are a mechanical engineer or a mechatronics engineer, if you don't know your subject and if you don't know what you're talking about, you will not get value. So please, again, a degree does not define you. You your own self will.
Adding to it, I think ZABIST plays an important role in it because since you graduate or are going in the professional market, so there is a know-how that there's something called mechatronics, and there are engineers, those who can work in both the aspects, either as an electrical electronics engineer, as a mechanical engineer, or as a matter of fact, if someone can go up and make an Android app, he or she can really do that. So
Yes.
I think mechatronics itself helps you and itself opens a lot of gates and lot of different fields for you. Okay, we have
I
Mr.
agree.
Azam Ahmed and says, which field in your opinion has more roots into engineering world and which side we should opt for entering the field? Danish bhai, if you would like to answer this.
Sure, why not? I think it depends on your passion basically. You cannot base your options of choosing a degree in 𝗘𝗚𝗚𝗏 valuable health and which one is more far better. You have to value yourself first. Like what are you interested in? Genuinely. Because I came across my very a relative who was actually interested in robotics. So his passion and his aim was very clear from the onset, and he was very adamant on getting admitted into mechatronics because he was like, "This is the way that I'm going to achieve my passion and my career objectives as well." So if you know what you want to achieve, and if you know what you want in engineering specifically, you will definitely excel in some way or the other when you will be working for yourself. Because as as earlier mentioned, you have to do what you want to do. You cannot do what other people want you to do, and that makes you succeed also. That is very helpful for you as well.
Oh, Miss Farah Alvi has a very good question. What was your FYP and did it help you in your work life? I think if all of you could answer this, because everyone has gone through this, starting from Miss Mariam.
So, okay, my FYP, I mean, I still brag about it. I got my research paper published when my for my FYP in national conference. I went there, and SZABIST gave us an opportunity to explore. So I would say my FYP was regarding an underground vehicle, an unmanned armed, I'm sorry, there is so yeah. So my FIP was regarding a vehicle which was automated and which was robust enough to be thrown. And during that whole process, it was a complete journey of mechatronics because it involved a mechanical structure and electronics as well. We had to do computing stuff as well. So my FIP, doing FIP just not makes you better at your field, but also makes you a better person. You learn to work in a team. You have to in that learning that you get from that whole 1 year, that helps you all the way along. You learn how to work with a team. You learn how to report to your supervisors. You learn to research. I would say the research is the key factor in that, which will help you all your life. If you know how to research, if you know how to write a research paper, if you know how to write a thesis, for that own, and if you do it all on your own. So we had the opportunity to develop our structure, to develop our electronics in that, to program the whole robot on our own. So that was a complete learning process, and it was a big opportunity which will stay with us all our lives. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm a whole witness of that. I saw that while being a student. So
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Mr. Danish, if you would like to share your FIP and how did it help you in your future?
Okay, my FIP was actually to build a portable water generator. It was called an atmospheric water generator, and the idea came from seeing something on the internet, an article on the internet, in which the people in Africa or some poor country were actually going to a place where they were taking water out of thin air. And that took my attention. I was like, this is something that I can do because I had done my thermodynamics, I had done my fluid mechanics, I had done my. So I was like, is it possible or not? Like, so then we, got back to the drawing board, we studied, we went through the articles. There was very limited research about it, but then there was something sort of there was an intrigue and a curiosity as to explore it. And I should be thankful to my advisor at that time, Dr. Imran Ani, because he was like, hey, let's go ahead with this. I don't want any robotics right now. Like, I had enough of robotics. Because we also went with robotic ideas. We can make the 6-leg robot, 8-leg robot, different type of thing. They were like, hey, this looks interesting. So let's go for it. The challenge was actually understanding the practical application of thermodynamics and fluid mechanics at the time of FIP. So that developed something. Yes, this is the practical. This is actual because we also added some challenges throughout the process, like powering it through solar generator, solar panels. And coming to the question, if it did help you in your work life, I don't recall it, to be honest, because it's been like more than 6 years. So I haven't come across any way that can say कि हाँ मैंने link किया होगा कहीं जाके. But my friends who did the FIP with me, they were able to do so in some sort of stages in their life, in their professional or work life. Thank you.
Musfira, to share your experience, your FIP.
Well, my project was about power generation to water supply lines. So it was like a whole combination of basically mechanical, electrical, and programming. So I agree with Mariam totally that, the main concept of final year project is basically to make sure that we start gaining research skills. It really helped me in researching, and it helps the student to innovate. We even won a competition, like there was this Ignite competition. So we even won funds for that, for the whole FIP through that, because of the innovative idea that we presented. So overall, the concept of final year project is really good because you spend a lot of time researching, and when you go to the industry life, it helps you a lot basically.
If I would add to it, I think FIP is just a mixture of what you have learned from the starting till the very end. It's a combination of what you've learned, and then you have to present it. Either if it's a designing thing, it's as a programming thing. Since I did an IoT, so it was more on the programming side, not much of the hardware involved to it. So it's just a mixture of everything what you have learned, and now you have to showcase that what through the coming 4 years that you have been part of mechatronics engineering as a student, what you have learned, and that's what you need to show in your FIPs. I think reading the comments of the audience, the basic concern that they have is, one, is there are jobs for fresh graduates, one, and is it feasible, or does it give you a high salary and everything that goes with it? So I think, listening to our guest, what I like to conclude is, yes, mechatronics is evolving, it's changing, and with the change in the all around the world, with COVID coming in and everything going back to online, you should have another discipline to work with. You should not be constrained with one aspect of the engineering. I'm not saying that you should not go with the one specialization, but I think you should have a know-how about, either if it's a mechanical part, so about the mechanical thing, and if it's an electronic thing, you should know how to deal with it. And this is what the changing time is teaching us. That's what I feel like. And I think if our guests would like to add to it, because slowly and gradually you will get to a good salary. You won't end up in very starting. Let's say you're expecting a six-figure salary. That's it's a very small ratio that it can happen. You will start within a range of salary which is not that good, but not that bad either. But it's the experience that promotes you. The more you are experienced, the more you are eager to learn, and the quicker you will succeed in your professional career. I think if any one of you would like to add to it,
So
anything.
I'd like to say, in our strength of materials class, Dr. Faraz Janejo used to show us this graph, and it used to show us that I think you all must have seen it. It was a salary chart for us to show that our salaries grow exponentially, but it's a slow progress, it's a slow start, but eventually it will grow. So guys, you have to be patient, you have to work hard, and it's not like you will not get paid enough. There is this concept that engineers don't get paid enough, but no, I think you get paid fair enough once you start gaining experience, and once you're in the right field, in the right direction, you will grow, and your salary will also grow exponentially, hopefully. That's what we have seen till now.
Yeah, it's a process now. You won't get a good salary just while you enter
At the
in your
beginning.
company. Yeah, you won't get it. It's a slow process. Eventually, you will be there. You have to face some hardships. You need to go to sites if you are a field engineer. If you are something like that, and if you are on the desk, if you are doing anything, but everything takes time. It's not a one day thing that all of a sudden or someone will come and say, okay, I'm giving you this amount of money. slowly and gradually you all will succeed. Yes, there are opportunities. One of the departments that we have is EDC, Executive Development Center. They link students to companies. So those who are enrolled there, please give your CVs to them, and they will definitely help you to get your jobs. Internship is one of the process in your degree program. You undergo a 6 to 8 weeks internship. You learn a little. You get a know-how of what an industry is all about. Okay, we have another question from Hazik Miraz, and it says, it is newly created field, people don't know how much about it, but after a few years, there will be a wide range of jobs in this field. Hazik, yes, there are people who are considering it, and yes, this is evolving, it's getting better, and I think people are preferring a mechatronics engineer over I won't say anything to other engineers, but yeah, the preference is there now. I can see it that there is a preference of a mechatronics over any other engineer. Okay, there's a scope of I think any last thoughts before we wind up? I think it's been a great talk with you guys. Thank you so much for having your time. A last thought that we would like to give before we wrap this up.
So thank you, Hamza. It was really nice talking to you, and thank you for having us over here. And one more thing that I'd like to add at the end of the session, that people feel that females are not, females are not encouraged in this field, or people say that, yeah, how would you manage with a girl? I once was even asked, there was this company I was getting interviewed at, and the person asked me that, what are you doing in this field? What what made you choose this? You were a woman and you should not be, working over here. And I told him that we are in 2017 at that time and not 1917. And then he asked me what will happen when your hands will get dirty. Then I told him I'll wash them. So guys, yeah. So I feel we should end this stereotype, and every gender should apply for this and explore. There is no capability can be explained on the basis of anybody's gender. So guys, whether you're a male or a female, you should work towards your passion, towards your interest, and you should not be choosing your career based on your gender. Guys, it's a completely flawed system, I would say. I mean, Musfira and I both have experienced that women are very much welcomed when they know what they're doing.
Definitely. Essence between males and females, everyone is equal, and whosoever is willing to work, he or she can excel wherever they want.
Yes, so if you're passionate about it, go for it.
Definitely. Musfira, last thoughts?
I totally agree with Marium. Like, I have even got a lot of questions regarding this. Like, you're a woman. So I was like, no, it's okay. Like, personally, during my FYP project, as I told you, it was power generation through water supply lines. So मैंने खुद बैठ के pipe तक काटे. So if you're a girl, it doesn't mean that you can't do these type of things. आप कर सकते. You can do it.
I've seen her.
And witness to that, Hamza.
Unfortunately, I've seen that. I've been locked on her roof too, so I really know what happens. And she was very passionate to do what all we used to do. So I think everyone who thinks that someone is above someone, there's nothing like this. If you want to pursue, if you have the desire to succeed, you will succeed. No one can pull you down. But it's you. It's you who.
It's all about the brain.
Definitely. It's all about the process that you do.
Yes.
Danish, last thoughts before you wrap this up.
Yeah, sure, why not? Thank you, Hamza. Thank you, SZABIST. Thank you, Mechatronics department, for coming back again towards us and asking us to do this. It really makes us proud and happy to be able to do this, even after 10 years, because in August, it will be 10 years since I joined SZABIST. So it just brings back a lot of memories, the first day and everything, and how we have come across, and how we are still connected together even after these years. So yeah, thank you very much again. And I just want to say a few words. It depends on the people as to how they want to perceive this. It's actually, you don't get what you ask for. You only get what you negotiate for. And that's life. So if you believe in this and if you want to do it, you will do it, inshallah. Very Thank you so much again.
But I would like to wrap this on the note that these alumni are speaking their heart out. They have nothing to do, there's nothing biased here. What they felt, they've shared their experience with everyone. And what one thing that I can bring out from this discussion is, if you are willing to work, you will end up at somewhere, irrespective of if there's a job availability or not. Yes, there are many individuals waiting for one job, but you need to be persistent and you need to wait for your time. But you don't need to lose your hope. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for your time. I hope it was an informative session. And if there's still any theory that's still left, you can log into SZABIST Mechatronics Facebook page, and you can have all the information from there. Thank you, and have a great day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Hamza. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.